Everything that could happen has happened with this movie. I feel like this movie is cursed because of that. On the way to the theater, I was like getting like allergies. I got a bloody nose out of nowhere. Got an eyelash in my eye, and I'm like, I don't want to be watching the movie and bugging me the whole time. I still never got it out. I don't know what happened to that thing, but it's in here somewhere. It can join us on this review. So the main character is played by Megan Fahey. She's this widow that hasn't gone on a date in years because her last relationship was abusive and she has these trust issues. So she plays Violet, and the guy she meets up with is Henry, played by Brandon Sklenar. Sklenar? Not sure how to say that one. But anyways, their chemistry is off the charts. Honestly, I can believe them. Like, they are in a first date. And all these things keep happening because she's getting all these drops. And it's these random memes that are saying like your night's about to get worse and stuff like that, right? And so at first you're like, oh, this is kind of funny. But then it turns out this is not a joke. And then she cannot tell anyone else in the restaurant or her date what is going on, or they're gonna kill her son. And so the race is on, the suspense builds, the tension's there. This is like a modern day Hitchcockian thriller. That's how I describe it. Even the opening credits was a very Hitchcockian feeling, like a modern day vibe of that. The shots here, I can tell that Christopher Landon really wanted to build tension and suspense here with making the shots creative. Almost every single shot here was a nice addition to this movie that was otherwise kind of pristine and kind of run-of-the-mill feeling. These shots really elevated to that next level. Everyone plays their character well, where you're guessing like, who could be this guy? Who is the killer, right? That's the whole thing where it's like, you're wondering, is this person over here? There's a lot of red herrings going on in this restaurant because these drops can only happen 50 feet away from your phone. And so that means it has to be someone in the restaurant. And so it's a guess game. It was kind of fun. You're wondering like, oh, was this person that maybe bumped into her earlier? This person talking to her earlier? You're guessing a lot here.
So, it's someone in the restaurant.
Going on to the mixed aspects of it, there was just like an editor thing for me, was like, especially the first like 20 to 30 minutes, I noticed like whenever there was conversations going on, it was kind of weird because it would cut back mid-word, but it was like so fast. It was like a split second cut to this person.
Please.
Like saying something and then go back to them. It wasn't a normal conversation like in edits. It was almost like they're kind of trying to cater to like the TikTok world or something, because I was like, damn, my attention span is not that bad. Like, what the hell is going on here? So I was kind of turned off by that. But then once it got to the restaurant, it did get a little better after a bit. And I will say that one of the negative things for me, and luckily it was only a small part of it, was the beginning and the end. I feel like were like the weakest parts of the movie. Like the middle part where at the restaurant was great, but the opening, it was like there's a cold open where it's like it kind of shows you a glimpse into her relationship with her ex-husband, right? And I just didn't really feel like I cared that much about it. I was like, okay, I feel like they had to do it. It's almost like it was like they're checking boxes, like, okay, cold open here. And it wasn't that exciting to me or interesting. And I was like, okay, let's get to the restaurant here. And then the ending, I'm not gonna ruin what happens at the end, but the very end, I'm talking like the last like minute or so, was a little cheesy. And especially the song that kicks on, I was like, what are we doing here, guys? What the hell? But overall, I think it was a good, fun time in the movies. I'm glad I saw it in theaters because it was a lot of fun. It was entertaining. It was better than I thought it would be from the trailer. I think it's at least worth a watch. At least one watch from you guys. Go see it in theaters and comment down below if you guys have seen it or are about to see it or after you see it, what you guys thought of it and what were like the weakest and strongest parts of this movie. Did you guys guess the killer before it happened? I'll see you next time. This has been Seth Vision. Seth Vision out.
So, how's this date going?